Fractional CMOs, Ryan.
Fascinating stuff. I personally don't know how much I like this trend. I think it's kind of problematic, and I'm wondering what's going to happen with your brand. Like, are we now putting CMOs in the gig economy?
Yeah.
Right? Like, are they gonna be like posting on Fiverr looking for freelance work? I think it kind of discredits the marketing practice, which I would imagine most of our listeners are not big fans of.
Yep.
And I wonder about the long term implications of the brand with that. If you're just cycling through these individuals and you don't have a cohesive point of view throughout, what happens to your brand? And so I'm a little skeptical myself.
Yeah, that was my first thought of like brand is supposed to be foundational.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be flexible without changing every couple
Right.
of years, let alone months.
Mm-hmm.
You know, does having different champions of it, different protectors of it on a fiscal quarterly basis, does that really set up that brand for sustainable success?
Yes.
Now, I do want to bring up one thing that has been laid out to me about fractional CMOs. For a company that is going through like major change, like either going from startup to like established brand or
Mm-hmm.
going from a category challenger to a marketing leader, there could be in that gestation transformation period, there could be some use to it. There could be, you get a performance marketing expert to just hit those numbers if there's in a financing round or
Yeah.
something like that. There are some short-term things when you're making a transformation where you're going from one thing to another unrecognizable, completely different thing.
Mm-hmm.
You might benefit from different people shepherding you through those little mini phases. But for a brand that is just, I don't know. I think that that's the only thing where I heard that and was like, okay, I could see that happening as a long-term strategy. I'm just not sure.
I'm reminded of our episode with Maggie Gross and how she talked
Mm-hmm.
about performance
Mm-hmm.
marketing, and you just keep hitting the button, performance, 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 and then the effectiveness of that sort of dwindles year over year over year, and 5 years later you're like, okay, we need to now move back into brand and get back to the numbers we were doing with that. And then the executives are wondering like, well, how come the brand marketing isn't working anymore? And you're like, well, because you neglected the brand for 5 years, so you lost all the equity that you had built. Seems like it could be sort of a similar trend there, but
Yeah.
hey, they don't pay me to make those decisions. I'm just a humble podcast producer. What do I know?
Well, the thing that it reminds me of is when you see a sports franchise try to win a championship by like hiring three stars and
Mm-hmm.
never bothering to build a team.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that's just it
Some of my
smacks of
favorite
that.
sports teams are undergoing that very thing right now, unfortunately,
I'll
for
say,
me.
yeah, well, I'll say a little prayer.